Till end of Akufo-Addo's administration came another one for the removal of Justice Torkornoo from Kweku Azar, our friend whose document we looked at the other day. Kweku Azar wrote to the president concerned about Justice Torkornoo, and President Akufo-Addo went through the process, replied to the general public, sent the document to Justice Torkornoo for her response, etc., etc., and Akufo-Addo dismissed the petition against Justice Torkornoo. Now, today, a new petition has arisen. 3 of them arise against Justice Torkornoo, and President Mahama has the petition. It goes to Council of State. A prima facie case is made, and the committee begin the hearing. There's a lot to say because Justice Torkornoo, while the committee was being, the process started, felt so pained that she needed to break the ranks of the in-camera hearing and held a press conference to tell the general public and the world that there were fundamental human rights abuses in the process. She's a former Chief Justice, so she knows what human rights abuses are. She tried to get the court to listen to her. She lost at the Supreme Court. She tried to get the High Court to listen to her. She lost at the High Court, both on account of the fact that whatever she is going through has been designed by the Constitution to be in camera, cannot be public, and so she cannot be heard in public. That whatever case she has to make it in the case. Article 146 process is almost such that once you get in, you are out. You can't get in and stay in, and once you get in, you are almost out. So yesterday, we heard that the committee had finished their work and they presented the document to the president. The only concern was that they said they were presenting to the president one case and they will go on and hear the other cases. So they presented one case to the president, the first one about Daniel Ofori's petition. That's one petition. That petition, they were able to conclude that Justice Torkornoo has fallen foul of the law, and they are recommending to the president for her removal. It stands to reason, therefore, that the committee process cannot go on. But if you monitor the news yesterday, it appeared that the committee were reporting on one and they will come and proceed with the rest. But after they reported on one, and in that report they had made a decision that based on everything they have heard, that the presidency, the Justice Torkornoo was out, that's the announcement President Mahama was going to make. So that announcement has come, and now people are dealing with it. And so we are going to show you how the general public has reacted. This is a beginning story. We're going to have a lot to say about it. Here is Justice Sophia Kufu says, allegations against Chief Justice did not cross the threshold. It follows that the committee should not have been set up. That's Justice Sophia Kufu. She says again that my honest and candid view is that this has so weakened the institution of the judiciary. This other one, Torkornoo did not have a fair hearing. There should be others. Where are the others? There are other views on the matter. This one is Professor Asare commends committee for diligent work. This is Professor Asare, who himself had filed a petition against Torkornoo earlier. He is happy with it. He is recommending the committee for diligent work. Are there others? There should be another one. I think there's Kweku and Sansari. There's Richard Delasky, who said something interesting that generated a lot on social media. He said the charade of hawks sitting in judgment over a chicken condemned beforehand may pass off as due process to the uninitiated. However, no reasonably competent mind is fooled, he said, and he signs on his name. That's a very interesting one. Then Mr. Kweku and Sansari, who had been the director of legal education and an astute lawyer, also said that the removal of Torkornoo and the process is correct and that the Constitution had done the right thing. So these are the matters that have been said about it, and this is our editorial on it. We are going to end this editorial with some very interesting video, and you have to decide how you want to relate to it. That's entirely up to you and how you relate to it. So we are going to take you in the video as we end, take you to Parliament, where President John Dramani Mahama was engaging with President Akufo-Addo at the Appointments Committee hearings in 2001. What you want to make of it in relation to the Torkornoo matter, please, it's up to you. Have a look.
At the last sitting of Parliament, insisted on issuing a statement against a lot of opposition from members of the House. Now, in that statement, he said that whether anyone liked it or not, the majority in the next Parliament, which is this Parliament, was going to introduce a motion to set up a Justice and Peace Commission to probe or inquire into June 4 and 31st December. there was an uproar from both sides of the House, and you were shown clearly walking out of the House, apparently in opposition and in disgust to what he had said.
This is a case of a genuine coincidence. This is a clear case of coincidence.
I want to be clear in my mind whether you were opposed to the timing of what he was saying, or you were opposed to the content or the idea of setting up such a commission, and what is your own opinion on that?
I would prefer to answer the latter. I left the chamber when the discussion was on, and I think that insofar as we all do that, as you know perfectly well, I don't think that any particular significance should be placed on the times I get up and leave the chamber and come back. But my own view is that at some stage or another, we're going to have to come to grips with that whole era and its consequences. We want to come to grips with it in a way whereby the peace, the stability, the progress of our country is not jeopardized. We're required in this country, like in many other countries in the world, to make a decision as to how we deal with our past. By and large, the nation is ready to say that what has happened in the past, let bygones be bygones. But there's still the situation involving the victims. People whose sufferings in one way or another cannot be so easily alleviated just by words. That a mechanism, some kind of mechanism, was already in place when you were in office. The Attorney General, for instance, I know, was reviewing the whole situation of the restoration of people's assets and how all of that could be arranged. What I believe that the minority leader was putting on the table, which is I believe, for instance, the majority view in the country, is that let us have some kind of mechanism working not with discretion. Our objection to the way that the Attorney General was handling this matter was that there was a slightly discretionary element. He would choose which people to deal with it. But let us have a mechanism which would deal with these matters in a reasonably objective and impartial way.